So we are going to do this exercise that given this convolutional neural network that takes this input of 64 by 3 by 32 by 32, it passes through this convolutional block 1, 2, 3, and the question for you will be what will be the final output dimension here. And another quiz that comes from it, which is a simpler one, what layer is this? What should be in this box? I purposely shaded it so that I'll see how much you understand neural networks. So pause the video, try to solve this problem and try to get back to it. We are going to also look at the tensor boards and see and confirm our results if we got it correctly. So I also designed the tensor boards to help us see and verify if the result we got was correct. So this is a tensor board and all the layers we designed is right here in this tensor board. And this is actually the code for this network. We are going to also verify and see how this code fits into the picture, how this code is used to derive the neural network you are looking at. And of course, we have the summary of the network containing the summary of all the blocks of the network as well as the output shapes. We are going to understand what these numbers mean, and it's going to be very, very clear. And I'm going to show you how to launch the tensor board. Of course, I explained this in my previous tutorial, how to launch the tensor board and be able to visualize your neural network. So let's solve this problem. What did you get? What is the answer, the result you got here? What's the dimension here? And also what layer is this? Let's start with the first one. So here we have 3 convolutional blocks. We start from convolutional block 1. Convolutional block 1 is made up of convolutional layer, batch normalization layer, ReLU, and the max pool layer. The first convolutional layer has an input channel and 3 and output channel of 32, right? And that means that it takes input feature of 3, this is the input feature, and this is the output feature. This is the batch size, the first item here is the batch size, and this is the width and the height of the input image. The first convolutional layer is going to change the features from 3 to 32. And that is the only thing that this first convolutional layer will do, provided that we have the kernel size and the padding to be 1. So at the end of the first convolutional layer, we are going to have the dimension to be 64 by 32 by 32 by 32. The batch normalization layer is going to take the number of features and normalize it, but it's not going to change the number. The ReLU, which is the activation, is going to activate all the features exactly as they are, so it doesn't also change anything in the input dimension. Now pay attention to the max pool layer. The max pool layer in a convolutional neural network reduces the spatial dimension of the input. So if you have an image of width and height, a max pool layer that has a kernel of 2 and a stride of 2 is going to reduce the width and the height of the input image by half. So in this case, 32 by 32 is going to be reduced to 16 by 16. And that means that after the first max pool layer, we are going to now have a dimension of 64 by 32 by 16 by 16. Okay, so we are done with the first convolutional block. Let's now go to the second convolutional block. The second convolutional block has an input channel of 32, exactly what we have here, but it's going to have an output channel of 64. And that is the only change that the second convolutional layer is going to make. So at this point, the dimension is going to be 64 by what? By 64 by 16 by 16. And we move on to the batch normalization layer. It's going to normalize the 64 features and it's not going to change this number. The ReLU activation function is going to activate all the features as well, input feature, passing it across to the output. Now the max pool layer 2 in the convolutional block 2 is going to now halve the width and the height of the image. Remember, the max pool layer reduces the spatial dimension of the input. So here, after the max pool layer on the convolutional block 2, we are going to have the dimension to be 64 by 64 by 8 by 8. So this is after the second max pool layer in the second convolutional block. Now we move on to the third convolutional layer. In the third convolutional layer, we have the channel is input channel of 64 and output channel of 128. Now it means that the channel, which is the features, is going to now change from 64 to 128. Also take note that the batch size always remains the same. So nothing in these blocks will change the batch size. It's going to carry over exactly from the first block to the last block. That is the batch size. So here we are going to have, after the third convolutional layer, we are going to have the dimension to be 64 by 64 by 128 by 8 by 8. Again, this is going to be passed into the batch normalization layer. Is going to normalize the 128 features. It's going to be passed into the ReLU, which passes exactly the same features across the output. Now enter the last max pool layer. This max pool layer is going to reduce further the spatial dimension from 8 by 8 to 4 by 4. So at the end of this max pool layer, we are going to have the dimension is going to be 64 by 128 by 4 by 4. Now let's go to the flattened layer. Now pay attention to what the flattened layer does. The flattened layer has input features and output features. The flattened layer is going to take the channel size, the width and the height, and flatten it by multiplying the three of them together, and that will be the input dimension of the, not the input dimension, but it's going to take these three inputs, these three data piece of data, and it's going to combine them. After combining them, it's going to then reduce it to 256. So the input dimension here is going to be 128 by 4 by 4. So it's going to take, let's see, 128 by 4 by 4. Let's check. 128 times 4 times 4 is going to be 2048. I'm going to write it 2048 all the way, send it to 25. So what do you think will be the dimension of this input at this point after it goes through the flattened layer? So it's now going to be 64 by 256. So the flattened layer is going to do two things. It's going to flatten the input data from 3 dimension, channel size times width times height, to 1 dimension, which is channel size times width times height. And then it's going to reduce the number of dimensions downwards to 256, meaning that in this layer, we have 256 output neurons in this layer. Okay, so now we are at 64 by 256. ReLU function doesn't do anything to the dimension. It passes everything across, drops out some of the internal neurons. Now we go to the last fully connected layer. This last fully connected layer is a fully connected layer, so it's going to take 64 by 256, and it's going to output 10 different possibilities, because the image data set we are working with is the Cipher 10 image data set. Sorry, I didn't mention this in the at the outset. So the output here is now going to be 64 by 10. So 64 by 10, right? So it should be. But what will be here in this layer before the final output, that is your assignment? What do you think? What layer do we need to be able to move this output actually and produce it as an output? So we have one final layer here that we must use. If we don't use it, then we don't have an output. So pause this video and let me know what you have. Okay, but I'm going to provide the answer to you, and it's going to be the softmax layer. The softmax layer is now going to take this scores, raw scores, and provide the probabilities. Okay, so these raw scores, they are called logits. So take note, I explained this before. So what goes into the softmax is the logits. What comes out is the probabilities. Now, final answer is going to be 64 by 10. Let's confirm in our tensor board and see if we got it correctly. So let's go to our tensor board. And here is our tensor board. Let's go straight to the output. Okay, so this is our main graph, all right? So let's Of course, we can spend some time to look at all the layers of the network, but I will defer that to you because I already explained this in a different tutorial. So spend some time looking at that tutorial where I explained the TensorBoard. But now we are interested in the output, right? So let's just click on here and we are going to expand, and you can see right here, 64 by 10, you can see right here. And of course, if you click on it, if you click on this output, you can see 64 by 10 is of course, this is the input, the input to the output, if you understand this, all right? So this is basically how it works. So we have our final output to be 64 by 10 for this very output. I'm going to stop here. The code for this is available in GitHub and also how to launch the TensorBoard. And of course, you see the details here. And this summary you see here, take note that we have -1, -1, -1, because in a touch summary details, in a touch summary, it doesn't specify the batch size. So it means that we have -1 means the batch size can be varied. So if you pass in a batch size of 16, it's going to pass it exactly as it is from the input to the output. So this is just representing 64, where you have all this -1. Okay, so I'm going to stop here. I would like to thank you for viewing. If this has been informative, please subscribe to my channel by hitting that subscribe button below, and also like the video, activate notification. If you have any challenges, or something you want me to cover, please leave it in the comment box below and I'll try to attend to you. And we see in the next part.